The month of August is just about complete, which means it is time for my September TBR. Welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Let's go! Yes, hello and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am of course Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today as we go through my September TBR. And I'm just gonna warn you all before we begin, I have way too many books on my September TBR, which directly violates one of the goals that I have for September, which is to actually read less, because I'm finding I'm reading way too much these days, which, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing a lot of reading, but the problem for me is I'm doing so much reading, it's at the cost of other things that I also want to do, and I'd like to kind of, mix things up a little bit. So it is what it is. We will keep moving, but don't be surprised as my TBRs go along for the remainder of the year if they get shorter and shorter. That being said, I have 15 books that I plan to get to in the month of September. One of those books has not arrived yet. I'm not going to promise to put it on the screen because every time I promise to put things on the screen these days, I totally forget. That is book number 2 in the Shake Shop Cozy Mystery series by Dana Mentink. It is called A Sprinkle in Time. It will be here on the 4th of September, but I'm reading it as my 11th book of the month anyway, so I've got plenty of time to wait for that one, but the rest are all here. So, what books do I plan to read, and what order do I plan to read them in? Grab yourself something nice to eat, something nice to drink, and let's begin my September TBR. You know those sad moments where you get up to date with the series and it's just really sad? When you got up to date with that series, had you read 21 books in that series? I'm about to get to that stage. The first book I plan to read in the month of September is the 21st and latest release in the Coffee House Cozy Mystery series by Cleo Coyle, No Roast for the Weary. I have had an up and down relationship with this series, but as a whole, I do love it. We follow Claire Cosi, who runs a cafe, the Village Blend in Greenwich Village in New York. I am saying all this without notes. Go me. I read so many different cozies that I sometimes forget. So that's how much I love the series. I am absolutely looking forward to getting on to this book, but I'm not looking forward to it being done and then, having this series complete. In fact, in order to prepare myself to not have to add more books, I have now shifted my Coffee House series to right up there. So I will add this one once I've done my September monthly wrap up there, and then who knows? I hope there's a book 22. If there is, let me know, but otherwise, looking forward to this one. The next book that I plan to read is book 10 of 13. I did just check this. Yes, 13. In the Country Store Cozy Mystery series, Batter Off Dead by Maddie Day. So the premise of this series is that we follow Robbie Jordan, who runs a country store, which is part country store, part diner, part B&B. And, it's set in South Lake in Indiana. I really enjoyed the series. I think Robbie Jordan is arguably the most hidden gem of a protagonist because she's the kindest main character I've come across in a cozy. So I do highly recommend for that particular reason. I am, very much looking forward to getting into this one. I love the cozy side. I don't always like the mystery side of the books in this series, but I always love the cozy theme side. So, looking forward to it based on that. I started something in the month of August this month, and that is to read 2 books from a certain series moving forward because I want to be up to date by the end of the year. I am going to keep up that trend in the month of September, and therefore the first of those 2 books that I plan to read from the same series is from the series, the Magical Cats Cozy Mysteries series by Sophie Kelly. Book number 9 is called A Tale of Two Kitties. So in this series we follow Hercules and Owen. Hercules is a black tuxedo diva type of a cat. Owen is a tabby who is more of a regular hunting type of cat, and they live with their human Kathleen Paulson, who is a librarian, but the purpose of the series is not Kathleen, is not the library, it is these two adorable cats. I love this series, and a Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series is absolutely amazing. A massive shout out to my dear friend Jane who got me onto this series. I cannot wait to get on to book number 9. Now, in the month of August, I read my 2 Magical Cat Cozy Mystery series with a separate book in between, and the reason I did that was to keep the 2 books as distinctive as I possibly could, rather than feeling like one long book that I'm reading over the course of 2 books, if that makes sense. Like, it would feel more like one big book. So I plan to do the same thing in the month of September. Therefore, the next book that I plan to read in the month of September is book number 7 in the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery series by Tracy Wilson, Mrs. Morris, and the Wolf Man. So the basic setup for this series as a whole is that we follow Mrs. Morris, who her husband passed away, and so she wanted to see change. She purchased a mansion in Salem in Massachusetts and turned it into a B&B. In book 1, she is introduced to a ghost who resides in the mansion. His name is Jack, who appears in every single book in the series, and I absolutely love him. Imagine reading a cozy mystery where Casper, the friendly ghost, has now become an adult and helps the amateur sleuth to solve cases. If that sounds really intriguing to you, adding on top of that the profession being a B&B and seeing the revolving door of new cast of characters every single book that come into the B&B, then I highly recommend this series for you. I am very much looking forward to getting back into this world. Therefore, the next book that I plan to read in the month of September 2025 gets me to double digits. Book number 10 in the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series by Sophie Kelly, which is called The Cats Came Back. I love the background color here. So I don't know if the publishing company changed over time or just the designer of the covers, because the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series, the first, I think, 8 or 7 or something, covers look very distinctly different to the rest of the books. But either way, still looking forward to seeing my dear Owen and Hercules and the mischief that they are sure to get up to. Now, how would you like to join me and my dear friend Jessica from the booktube channel The Lady Lovestead Reads in our merger buddy read for starting in the month of September? We would certainly love to have your company. So, my dear friend Jessica has, from Lady Lovestead Reads, has a Discord server called The Lovestead. My name is Mr. Francy. This is Mr. Francy Reads. Mr. Francy Reads, the booktube channel, also has a Discord server called The Sparkle Cafe. The 2 servers are merging, woo, to be called the Sparkle Stead, and we are doing a buddy read, 1 book a month of this series, an emergency dessert squad cozy mystery series by an author that I have grown to love thanks to her friend for hire cozy mystery duology, Laura Bradford. Book number 1 being read in September by us in that merger is Eclair and Present Danger. And all I know about this series is that our protagonist has this old-fashioned, what do you call these things? Ambulance that she has turned into like a dessert thing where she has all the desserts in there. All I need to know is that we're dealing with desserts. We're dealing with eclairs. I'm very, very, very happy. So the link to my Discord is in the description below. If you go over to the booktube channel, Lady Lovestead Reads, the link to Jessica's Discord is in her description as well, the Lovestead, and we are going to start that merging buddy read next month, and I am very, very, very excited, and I'm very excited to get back to another Laura Bradford, because if the A Friend for Hire Cozy Mystery Duology series is anything to go by, Laura Bradford writes extremely cozy mysteries. So I'm very much looking forward to this one and would love to have your company. So all of those books are on my SAS list, which stands for Serious About Series, a term that was penned by, or coined, or whatever you want to call it, by Elizabeth from Lizzie Fade Loves Books, where you write a list of series that you plan to begin, continue on with, or finish by the end of the year. The next 4 books that I'm going to be discussing with you are books in series that I added around about halfway through the year, or just prior to halfway through the year, where I began these book ones as spares, but loved them so much I had to keep going. So the first of those, which will be the 7th book I pick up in September, is book number 4 in the S.E. Cobb Senior Sleuth Cozy Mystery series by Patricia Rockwell, which is called Ghosted. I love this series. We do not have enough time for me to tell you how much I love this series, but all I will tell you if you want to get into this series is this. First of all, it is Cozy Mystery Light. So there are grittier Cozy Mysteries, standard Cozy Mysteries, and light Cozy Mystery series. So far, none of the mysteries have involved an actual death, which I really do appreciate, and the mysteries are very light. So they're lighter mysteries, well, because they don't involve death, so makes sense, Mr. Francy. Let's keep going. If you are a fan of the TV series of The Golden Girls and you want to know what's happened to them 10 years later after they've left their Miami home, joined a nursing home under a different names, then I highly recommend reading this series because S.E. Cobb reminds me of Blanche so much. Her friend Opal reminds me of Dorothy. Marjorie reminds me of Rose, and Faye reminds me of Sophia. So if you want to see the Golden Girls even more in their golden era in a nursing home, just under different names, I highly recommend this series. I am so excited to go back to this one. I know I keep saying I'm excited, but I have a really big love for this series. I don't know if Patricia Rockwell has written any other series aside from this one, but if she has, I might need to get onto it in 2026, but highly recommend. The next of those 4 hidden gems that I highly recommend will be the 8th book that I plan to read in the month of September, book number 4 in the Case for the Master Sleuths Cozy Mystery series by the wonderful author Alex Wagner, and this 4th book is called The Curse of the Cat Goddess. Now, what separates this series from a whole lot of others is that our protagonist is not a human. We actually follow this dog on the cover, Athos, who is an Alaskan Malamute, and yes, you heard me correctly. The protagonist is this dog. Everything we go through from the dog Athos's perspective. Athos lives with a little tiny kitten. His name is Pearl, who thinks she is a massive lion. But anyway, and it is just a fantastic time. If you want something different, then I highly recommend this series. Also, if you want to read or start reading, if you want to read more or start reading cozy mysteries that have a male voice to it, Athos is a male Alaskan Malamute, so that's another way to inspire you to pick up this series. I love this. Alex Wagner has done an amazing job. You really feel like you're inside the head of this Alaskan Malamute. It is so well done. Cannot wait to get onto this one. And I love Egyptology, so the fact that we've got a lot of Egyptian stuff going on here, I really, really, really appreciate that. The 3rd of my hidden gem books is going to be book number 4 in the Mysteries Up Max Cozy Mystery series by Nick Saint, which is called Perfect Heat. And just like with the Case for the Master Sleuth, in this series we do not follow a human. This time we don't follow a dog, we follow a cat. This cat on the cover, which is Max. Max is a blorange tabby cat, which is a blonde orange, and he's not afraid to tell you that. I love this series so much. So Max's human, Odelia, can communicate with cats, which is fantastic, but none of the other humans can, so it's only Odelia who can. Max lives with his best friend, Dooley, who also, well, Dooley also lives next door, but see, in book number 1, a new detective or cop came to town. He came to town with his cat Brutus, who thinks he is above the law because his human is a cop. Brutus fell in love with the cat that Dooley lives with, who is also Dooley and Max's best friend, whose name I cannot remember. Harriet? I think it's Harriet. Anyway, and they are being very annoying being together, so Dooley is currently staying with Max next door, and yeah. This is an amazing series as well. If you've ever heard the term world building, it usually comes up when we talk about fantasies. World building is defined as anything that builds up the fictitious world that we are reading about. The world building of Alaskan Malamutes in this series and the world building of cats in this series are absolutely fantastic. I am not going to lead you wrong here. Pick up these books because you want to follow these animals and get lost in the world of these animals from their perspective, because they are so good. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Highly recommend both of them. I will see how I go with the next book, because the next book that I plan to read, the only way for me to read it is to physically read it, and I'm already a little anxious because it's not available on audiobook, but I love the series so much, so I'm gonna try. Any support I can get to get myself through physically reading a book in the month of September, I will really appreciate. It is book number 4 in the Tucson Valley Retirement Community Cozy Mystery Series by Marcy Blessy, Dying to Build, Nailed It. So in this series, we follow, what was her name again? I am doing really well. It's not even saying. Rosie! We follow Rosie, who in book 1 moves to Tucson Valley's retirement community because her father has just gone through surgery, so she is there to help him. But by the end of book 1, she ends up staying at the retirement community, becoming a director behind the scenes for the Tucson Valley Retirement Community's theater company. And so, yeah, the series is a whole lot of fun, filled with a whole lot of laughs. If you want to be laughing a lot while reading your cozies, I highly recommend this series. I like the series. It's just I'm a bit anxious about physically reading and seeing the difference between physically reading this series and listening to it on audio. We'll see how we go. But I do recommend the series because it is a whole lot of fun with a whole lot of laughs along the way. So now we move to my A to Z Cozy Mystery bingo board. Basically, I have a bingo board that I've created for myself where under each letter of the English-speaking alphabet, I have a Cozy Mystery series. In order to fulfill that prompt, I need to read the first 2 books in that series. Unless there is only 1 book out in that series, then I can cross off that prompt. So, I am going to, the next book that I'm going to read is the book I don't have on me, which I'm not putting on the screen because I will forget, but I told you about earlier on, which is book number 2 in the Shake Shop Cozy Mystery series by Dana Mentink, A Sprinkle in Time. Once I've read that book, I can cross off my letter N prompt from my A to Z bingo board. The 12th book that I plan to pick up is the series on my O prompt for my A to Z Cozy Mystery bingo board, and let me tell you, I am so excited. I really hope I'm not let down. I am so excited to finally listen to an audiobook by this amazing duo author ring pair, because the series I want to read by them, there's only 1 random book in that series, and I mean random. Say there's 20 books, book 12 might be available on audiobook and the rest are not. It's really weird. I really wanted to read her other series, but I reached out to this author through Messenger on Facebook, and they got back to me. They were absolutely amazing, and I told them, my concerns and how I would love to read that series on audio. They explained why that didn't work, but they also explained how they were penning a new series, and every book in that series was going to be available on audio. That series is now out, and not only am I excited for the fact that I'm finally going to read from this author, but the series title has me extremely intrigued. So, that is all to say that my letter O prompt on my A to Z Cozy Mystery bingo board is a series called the A Charcuterie Shop Cozy Mystery series by the lovely authoring duo J.C. Eaton. It is called Laid Out to Rest, book number 1, and I cannot wait. I really want to read, is it Sophie Kimball? I think that's a series that's only got 1 book out on audio, which I get it. J.C. Eaton explained to me why there's only 1. I get it. But I just wish I could have read that series because all those covers are so adorable. But anyway. But I love the fact that I'm going into a charcuterie shop cozy mystery series. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a charcuterie shop anyway. But what a great idea for a cozy mystery series. Have you read this book? Tell me what you thought in the comments below. Do you want to buddy read with this with me? I'm going to read it later on the month, so you have plenty of time to get it. I am very excited to get to this for JC Eaton and for the cozy theme. I really hope it is heavy on the cozy theme because there's so much it can do with a charcuterie shop. Very excited. I was planning on reading book number 2 in that series as well, but I've shifted. I can't speak today, I'm so sorry. I have shifted book number 2 in that series over to my October TBR. The next book that I plan to read is going to help me to cross off on my P prompt because I was so excited to read book number 1 that I actually read it earlier on in the year, and now I'm finally getting to book number 2. I loved book 1, and I definitely feel like this series will go on to my 2026 SAS list. It is the Bread Shop Cozy Mystery Series by Winnie Archer. Book number 2 is called Crust No One, because we crust no one. Book number 1 was so good. If you've ever seen the show Devious Maids, it gave me so many Devious Maids vibes, which is an English-speaking, set in America, Beverly Hills to be exact, English-speaking telenovela. I love it so much. And the first book just really reminded me of the characters from Devious Maids. It was so good. The mystery was good. The cozy side was fantastic. If you want more bread making stuff and bread appreciation, I highly recommend book 1 in this series. I cannot wait to get on to book number 2. And if I love it just as much as book number 1, best believe the Bread Shop Cozy Mystery Series will be making an appearance on my SAS list in 2026. We have 2 books left to go, the first of which is my Q prompt in my A to Z Cozy Mystery Bingo board, which has been replaced. Now, I'm just going to look behind the camera because that's where my physical lists are for my book, so forgive me. Initially, my Q prompt was the Caribbean Kitchen Cozy Mystery Series by Raquel Reyes. However, unfortunately, the physical books for me were way too expensive, and I mean, to get book number 1, that series is going to cost me $42. To get book number 3 is going to cost me $43. I can't justify that, so I, because of expenses, have replaced that series. So, and I have made that rule that I can do that. If I want to replace the series, I can replace it with another mystery series, provided I read the first 2 books in that series. And let me tell you, there is an author that you've seen from another series that I'm reading in the month of September that I love, that's written another series that I need to pick up. So let's all once again, for the second time this month, celebrate a fabulous author whose name is Marcy Blessy as we talk about the monthly murder movie club cozy mystery series, book number 1, Murder on a Monday. The title is right there. Murder on a Monday. First and foremost, I wanted this series because of Marcy Blessy. I love what she did with Tucson Valley Retirement Community Cozy series, so I was going to get this series no matter what. But then when I discovered that the cozy theme is about movies, I'm good. I am so good. If there are other cozy mystery series that revolve around movies, TV, acting, anything like that, please let me know. I will purchase those books in a heartbeat and read them. Really excited to get onto this one. And I need to fulfill this prompt now that it's a replacement. So not only am I reading book 1 in September, but I will read book 2 in October. It's going to take a lot for me to not like this series, so it's a safe bet that I will get through the first 2 books, because the author, the cozy theme, it's going to take a lot for me to not like this series. I'm really excited. It has been a very long time since I placed a spare onto my TBR. Now, a spare is a book that is not on my SAS list or on my A to Z Cozy Mystery Bingo board, but I had good enough reason to put it on there. The final book I'm going to read is a spare, and the reason why I want to read it is because it's been a long time since I have read a male Cozy Mystery book. I love the Secrets and Scrabbles Cozy Mystery series by Josh Lanyon, but Josh Lanyon opinion, is not going to be releasing a new book in that series for a little while now, so I need to find another one. I tried the board game Cozy Mystery board game shop one. I didn't really enjoy that one, to be totally honest, so we're going to try this one. So this is book number 1 in the Last Picks Cozy Mystery series, a male cozy mystery series by Greg Ash. Book number 1 is called Mystery Magnet. All of these books do appear to be available on audio. I love the look of the cover. I love the fact that it's going to be a male cozy. Not only will we have a male lead, but that male lead's love interest will be another male. I am very, very excited to get to this one. Is it any wonder I wanted this on my spares list? Have you read this book? Let me know what you thought about it. Don't spoil it because I don't want to know anything going in other than, yay, following a male lead. Yay, male lead's going to fall in love with the male. I'm very excited. And now for everyone's favourite game, excluding a sprinkle in time, that we like to call Up. These are all the books I plan to get to, including a sprinkle in time, excluding I should say, in the month of September 2025. What books do you plan to get to in the month of September 2025? Let me know in the comment section below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it. I am so excited to get to all of these books. What's that song? Is it by The Pointer Sisters? I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I am so excited. So you let me know what you plan to read. But until next time, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind. Please love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. Yeah! And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone!